What's going on, YouTube? So today I'm standing next to a very important vehicle for the Dodge brand. This is the all-new Dodge Charger Daytona. Now this is going to be sold in two different versions, and this here is the Scat Pack. This is the most powerful muscle car money can buy, with up to 670 horsepower. Yes, you heard me right, 670 horsepower. And we're going to go ahead and check it out. So let's go ahead and start by talking about the exterior design. Now, of course, this has a very iconic design. This always kind of harkened back to the old models from the 60s and 70s. Yes, I am at a racetrack right now. And those characteristics do continue on, but they're much more modern than before. So one of those really modern characteristics is the fact you have this big light bar that's going to go all the way across the front. Of course, you have standard full LED lighting on all versions. This right here is an element, though, that really stands out with this new gen. As you can see, what they've done is kind of slope down the hood really tightly, and then that actually gives you the ability to generate downforce with this spoiler up here in the front. Now moving on to our wheels, you have 20-inch alloys available on this Scat Pack. You got some different finishes you can choose. As you can see, this one's got kind of the classic silver design. Now in terms of the performance, of course, having the Scat Pack does give you some additional things, such as Brembo brakes. We also have the Scat Pack Track Pack, and that is going to add these further enhanced Brembo brakes, and you also have Performance Eagle F1 tires. Got your emblem right there on the side, and in terms of our mirrors, of course, you have standard heating and blind spot monitoring, as well as the gloss black finish.
Now at the side of this new Charger, you're going to notice that this is a very long vehicle, and indeed, the length is very big, about 206 inches long, so you might actually want to check and see if this will fit in your garage. They'll also be making a four-door variant, which will have the exact same overall length to it as well. Now as we head around to the rear, you're going to notice that we have that really cool Charger design. It harkens back to those older models, but adds a modern flair, that's for sure. Now here with the Scat Pack model, that's where you're going to get this blacked out spoiler up here at the top. This is a really nice look, and I think it adds a lot of contrast versus the RT version. And then as we head to the taillights, you'll notice that we have a fully modernized design. It's going to be a full LED setup, so you have your LED brake light, turn signal, and reverse light. All of it's going to have that very cool look to it. And then down here at the bottom, no exposed exhaust outlets because this is electric after all, but we have Daytona branding, and you'll also notice that we have our Fratzonic exhaust system. Yes, even though this is an electric vehicle, it has a big speaker system integrated back here, and it makes a ton of noise. Let's go ahead and take a listen. Dodge actually says this is as loud as a Hellcat. And as far as your safety systems are concerned, Dodge is giving you actually every single one of those as standard equipment. So if you get going a little too fast in your Scat Pack Charger, that certainly will be something worth noting. But guys, let's go ahead and check out the interior because there's some special elements for the Scat Pack model. But first, if you're new here, we're brothers and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We may be young, but we love cars.
And we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family. Let's learn a lot, have some fun with all the latest cars.
All right, let's move to the interior. Here's our Dodge key fob. You have the kind of carbon fiber background. Of course, you have a standard smart entry system with remote start. And then to get inside, just grab behind the handle. That will unlock the door with the touch sensor. Now, let's take a look at the inside of the vehicle. So, obviously, you are going to have a really nice cabin, which has some retro themes to it, as well as full modernization. I want to start, though, by talking about our seats, because this is something that is specifically different about the Scat Pack with the Track package. So you'll notice we've got these high-performance bucket seats. These have really thick bolsters. You have an Alcantara that runs through the center section for better grip, and it is all one piece as well, giving you that ability to harness up for track duty. Now, as far as the adjustments, you also have additional adjustments, including 4-way lumbar support and a power thigh extension. But let's go ahead and climb inside. Now, closing up the door, let's take a look at the interior materials. You have a nice selection with leatherette really covering most of the primary things you're going to touch, including the armrest, upper door trim. All of the upper dash basically will have this with the two-tone stitching, more leatherette through here, and more leatherette along the console. Everything does feel nice and solid as well. This is a pre-production model, but it is well put together. Let's go ahead and fire it up with the push-button start located right here behind the shifter. Now, jumping into some of the individual features, I want to go ahead and start off with our gauge cluster. This is a 16-inch gauge cluster. It is standard on the Scat Pack. You have a lot of different designs you can choose from that do adjust as well when you go into different modes, such as sport mode. And then you've got a head-up display, very large one, up above. In terms of the steering wheel, you got the new flat bottom and top steering wheel with nice perforated bolsters, double stitching here. Really nice look to this. It is power, tilt, and telescoping as well, and it is heated. Now, I do want to say that we have a full walkthrough of all the features of the Charger's interior, so we're going to be a little bit quicker with this one because we're just kind of looking mostly at what is different for the Scat Pack model versus the RT. Namely, I will go ahead and show you the storage real fast, as well as the wireless phone charging pad. All of this is going to be the same between the models. You also have the same new shifter here, which is physical in its design. You pull back for drive. The paddle shifters, I want to point out on the steering wheel, are for regen modes. They're not for any type of shift simulation or anything like that. And then when I go into reverse, here's our 360 camera. You've got a lot of different views that you can choose between right there. Got an electronic parking brake, and then let's turn our attention up here to our climate controls. Very simple to use. You have these kind of capacitive touch buttons here with haptic feedback to adjust your temperature up and down. You can use the display for some of the more detailed information pieces right through there. This is dual zone automatic. You also have heated and ventilated seats. That's noteworthy to me because when we even have these performance seats, you still keep heating and ventilation. That's really, really nice to see. As far as the audio system is concerned, this is going to be an 18-speaker Alpine sound system. We sampled that earlier in the other model. Really good stuff. Definitely fills up the cabin nicely. And in terms of the technology, we got a fully modernized 12.3-inch display. This is running Uconnect 5.0. It has all of the important features such as wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Of course, since this is both electric and a performance vehicle, you'll find specific things for the battery, and you'll also find specific things for tracking this vehicle. So you've got all the performance applications that are actually going to be just baked right into the vehicle itself, and you can access all of that stuff inside of the apps. Up above, we have an auto-dimming mirror. HomeLink remotes are located right there in the visor. We also have the available panoramic sunroof here, so this is going to give you the full glass roof. As you can probably tell, it does not open up, so it is fixed into place. There's no sunshade either, but it does have a tent on it, and on this model you can option on a suede headliner.
But let's go ahead and check out the rear seats for this Dodge Charger. Now, you heard me say on the outside that this is a big vehicle, and that does translate to a lot of space here in the back seats. For a two-door coupe, you'd probably expect to have not much space at all, but when this seat slides out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and get back here and show you just how much space you have. This seat, keep in mind, is adjusted for Drew, who is 5'8", and look at how much space I have back here. Holy moly. According to Dodge, it's about 37 inches of both leg and headroom. I did bring my ruler along, so behind Drew's 5'8" driving position, I'm 5'9". We're sitting at 8.5 inches of knee room. My feet can slide up underneath of the seat, and the seats back here are quite comfortable. Additionally, we have the fold-down armrest. So definitely, I see that you could fit 3 people back here probably 2 adults very comfortably. You also have heated back seats as well as 2 USB ports and vents here in the second row. So a lot of features to go with it as well. It's definitely a lot better than what you'd find in an equivalent Mustang or anything in the muscle car segment, in my opinion. Do keep in mind, though, that they have the 4-door variant that's going to have exactly the same space figures as this. And let's walk up to the cargo area, because that's going to be another area I think you're pleasantly surprised with. Now, you'll notice that unlike a traditional, 2-door coupe, it doesn't open just like a trunk. It's actually a whole hatchback situation going on. So we're sitting at about 23 cubic feet behind the second row of seats. If I fold those seats down, it's about 37 cubic feet. Once again, really, really impressive for a 2-door coupe. And as far as the overall cargo area, you can fold those seats down quite easily by going into the second row, and that's going to give you a completely flat loading floor. It's also going to give you a lot of cargo length, width, and height. We did do that in our previous Charger RT. Due to our limited time frame with the vehicle, we cannot do all of that right here, but know that you're going to have a lot of length, also quite a bit of width and height. Now, as far as the underneath of the floor, there's a little bit of extra space. We do not have a spare tire, though. Well, guys, here we are behind the wheel of the Scat Pack Charger. We cannot wait to show you all the performance this vehicle has to offer. It is a lot, hint. We'll also be getting things like our sound level reading, but first we need to start with that hard acceleration. Let's do the most important thing first.
All right, sport mode, power shot. Woo!
Ooh. That's fast.
Yeah, that's fast.
So fast, it moved the GoPro.
Yeah, and so fast that we did a 4-wheel burnout. Okay, that was fun.
Again.
Don't worry, we're gonna launch again, but for now, let's talk a little bit about the specs. You're probably wondering what just powered us up to that high speed there in that amount of time. Well, 670 horsepower, that's what, because I pushed the power shot, which takes us all the way to the maximum power for 10 seconds, 670 horsepower. Very, very good stuff, of course. Mason has you at the torque figure as well. 627 pound-feet. You can actually see it right there prominently on the gauge cluster itself. It actually shows you how much you're using at the current time. So we used all 627 on that first launch. So really, really impressive stuff when it comes to the performance. Like we said on the outside, this is a special Dodge Charger because this is the highest performance one that you can get, at least for now. They might make something more crazy in the future, who knows? They've been known to do that in the past. But for the time being, this is the fastest one that you can get. All of the chargers will come with a 100.5 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery pack. That's the same here for the Scat Pack, but they have more powerful electric motors, and it's good for 630 horsepower or 670 with the power shot mode. 0 to 60 on this is 3.3 seconds, so very incredibly quick. They were also quick to point out in their presentations today, Dodge was, that this is faster than a lot of their other combustion engine, super high-performance Chargers and Challengers of the past. So definitely don't think going electric is going to reduce your performance, because at least here in this example, for sure it's not. Now, if you're curious about how it compares to the RT, 0 to 60 wise, the RT goes 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds, and we did have the chance to drive that one actually just before driving the Scat Pack, and I have to say, I think it's well worth the upgrade to get this Scat Pack model, because the RT, while it did perform really nicely, this just adds that extra layer of performance that you're probably looking for. All right, we're on a really flat stretch here. Let's do the 0 to 60 again with the power shot. Oh, that was great.
Scat Pack's worth it. 100%.
Yeah. It makes way bigger of a difference than I thought to go from that's 5.5 seconds roughly to the 3.3. Big difference. I don't even think we're quite getting to 3.3 because there's a lot of sand on the ground and we're losing a little bit of traction, but oh my goodness.
It's really fast. You know, I think that's kind of the element that is so important with this Charger is you have the crazy looks on the outside, you have some really nice performance stuff on the inside, and it feels like a great muscle car. And having that performance when you get behind the wheel, I think it just really puts the icing on the cake for me. Third time's the charm. We better stop before we run out of range or burn through the tires, either or.
That was the fastest yet. I could feel it.
Speaking of the range, how far can you go on a single charge? Well, this is electric. It has the same battery pack as the RT. It does get worse range, as you would expect. 241 miles is how far you can expect to go on this Scat Pack version. The RT can go up to 308 miles, so that is worth noting. It can go quite a bit further than this, but once again, I'd rather just charge a little bit more and take this, in my humble opinion. I do want to also point out that if you want a gasoline option, they will be offering the Charger in what they call 6-pack. I love the marketing term there, but it's a 6-cylinder inline 6, and it will have standard output of 420 horsepower. The high output version, it's 550 horsepower. So they are offering a wide gamut of powertrain selections here. If you want, traditional muscle car experience with the gas engine, or if you want to go kind of the future muscle car with this electric version.
Well, when I said four-wheel burnout earlier, you probably picked up on that. This is a dual-motor all-wheel drive system. That being said, it does have the capability to actually go into a drag mode as well as a burnout mode, and you can do that by basically turning off that front electric motor and just taking this into rear-wheel drive.
Yeah. And we will get into some of the fun stuff that you can do with this Scat Pack right now. We actually did have the privilege of taking it out on a track as well as doing some other fun things, so we'll go ahead and show you all the fun that you're capable of having in the Star Charger Daytona.
All right, and let's kind of get after it a little bit. Sweeping corner here. Now this is about 5,800 pounds. So one of the things we're of course looking for is can it handle the weight here? Really does seem like so far it's doing a pretty good job. This vehicle has a little bit of body roll. So as you go around some of the tight corners, you can feel the weight it's really working. We're in the track mode right now. This has 670 horsepower, so we've got a lot of power on board. There we go. It's hooking up nicely though, so we kind of go into that. Hard on the brakes, really big Brembo brakes because again we have a lot of mass. In this case, it's really kind of the biggest thing about this is the fact that we've got those big old Brembo brakes. That's what's going to slow us down. All right, and there we go. Not too bad. I have to say that was quite fun. And again, it really managed the weight quite nicely. Obviously, the Chargers have always been pretty heavy in terms of the overall weight on them. That is the case for this one as well.
So we'll activate. From this point, stability system's off. It does change the note. And then from there, we'll have some fun. So we'll give it some gas. I just talked to you. This swing that weight off the gas, back to gas, off the gas, and now it'll start to swing. Now I'm going to use the gas to slide the car keep it going, keep energy, gas. Okay, off the gas, okay, off the gas, off the gas. Right, yeah, even if some brake and you feel rotate right there, right, off the gas. So that was it. It just started a little bit late. Okay. But you feel it start to rotate, and then I can go to the gas, but it's got a lot of torque, so feed into the gas for sure. Okay, let's head back to the right here, and let's try it again.
Didn't hit any cones, so that's good.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was, there you go. Build up some speed. And build the gas, off the gas. Yep, and power, vision. Keep looking. So notice you only have, like, what does it say, 10% steering?
Yeah.
Right, there's a lot more.
Now, since we're on a nice flat and straight stretch, I do want to go ahead and get things like our sound level reading. I went ahead and toggled off EV sound. Drew took us out of the sport drive mode, which enhances the sound, and we'll see how quiet we're reading. 59.8 decibels is our official sound level reading, going 55 miles per hour. I guess I say official lightly because we are just outside of Phoenix, Arizona right now. So we're not in our home state of Kentucky's roads, so keep that in mind. Definitely here in the desert, the roads are quite a bit of a louder surface. But we don't have to sit here and guess how it compares. We can go to carconfections.com/sound level readings and see how it compares to other sports cars that you might be looking at. And indeed, that does mean that it is going to be quieter than most other sports cars that you might be looking at. And I also want to just take a second to discuss ride quality now that we're just cruising down the interstate portion here. Throughout driving this vehicle all day today, I've been very impressed with the ride quality. I think they've done a great job of really smoothing things out. It's not a hardcore vehicle. It doesn't feel like your teeth are going to fall out or anything. From what I remember, this is definitely a lot more comfortable than something like a Ford Mustang Dark Horse. And I think a lot of buyers are going to appreciate that, that's for sure. It is a very big and heavy vehicle, and I think that's definitely showing up when it comes to the ride quality, that's for sure. All right, let's go ahead and dive into our Car Confections Slam Dunk and Airball. Now, on the Slam Dunk side of things, Drew, why don't you tell us what our Slam Dunk is? You probably already know, but...
The performance?
Yeah.
This is a pretty impressive machine, for sure. And I think bigger than that is just that, despite it being electric, right, it still feels like a true muscle car. It hits all those muscle car priorities and does feel like an authentic Dodge Charger.
Yeah. On the Airball side of things, what we're going to say is it is a bit pricey. We'll get into the pricing officially a little later on, but this particular model that we're sitting in today is a little over $82,000, which certainly is a lot. Previously, if you're looking for a Challenger Scat Pack, it does have, that would have a more affordable price tag than this new Daytona version, so keep that in mind. As far as last things worth mentioning, your charge times are going to be on level 2 from 5 to 80% in 6.8 hours. Level 3, you can go up to 350 kilowatts. 5 to 80% is as little as 32 minutes. I do also want to point out that we do have adaptive dampers on this model. That is for the Scat Pack track package, which is actually what we're driving right now. And let's talk pricing. So pricing starts at under $60,000 for this Daytona electric version. Now, if you want the Scat Pack, that does raise the price quite a bit. We also have the track package on this model and a few other options. All told, we're sitting at $82,175 as tested today, which represents pretty much the most expensive Charger that you can get. So keep that in mind. We do not have official pricing for the 4-door variants or the ICE models, which will be coming later on. Speaking of availability, this 2-door Daytona is available right now. You do also have the 4-door variant that will be early 2025, and then the gasoline options will come mid-2025. Now, if you're looking to buy a Dodge Charger Daytona or any new vehicle, we would encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. Now, the reason you do that is because we have a tool on our website that will connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealership negotiation. If you'd like to take advantage of that, a link is provided in our video description, and we also have a pinned comment at the top of this video. But buying a car is about more than just the original MSRP, so let's dive into resale and reliability. First up, let's talk about resale value. As an economics graduate myself, Drew and I took the time to develop what we think is a good estimate for this Dodge Charger Daytona's potential resale value. We estimate that after 5 years and 60,000 miles, it'll be worth 55.1% of original MSRP, and after 10 years and 120,000 miles, 25.2%. Now, it is worth noting that's actually a pretty good resale value by percentage. That's above industry average. However, due to this being an electric vehicle, that does sometimes affect your resale value differently than other vehicles in their lineup.
Now, we've also done the same for reliability by developing the Combined Reliability Index. This takes into account several studies on reliability from trustworthy sources and combines them in a way that gives you a more holistic picture. In this regard, Dodge is rated above the overall industry average for all vehicle makes. Of course, as Mason was saying, though, this is an all-new product, so it is ground up completely different from all the vehicles they have been making in the past.
Now, if you'd like to learn more about all of our reliability and resale rankings, as well as our methodology, be sure to go to carconfections.com/resale and carconfections.com/reliability. Buying a new vehicle is a big decision, so you want to make sure you're making a smart purchase, especially if you're cross-shopping between different vehicle brands. Guys, that's going to be it for our in-depth review of this all-new 2025 Dodge Charger Daytona. If you enjoyed watching this video or found it helpful in your purchasing decisions, which we hope you did, we'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. By subscribing, you're going to be informed on the latest car reviews such as this, and you're also going to be a part of our Car Confections family. We have a lot of fun on this channel. I promise you won't want to miss out. If you're already part of our family, thank you so much for your continued support, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.